Hello everyone and welcome to CIS 105. I'm Dr. Kelly Engel and I'll be your instructor for this course. I want to provide you with a brief introduction to the course to help you acclimate to this environment in D2L, as well as SimNet, which we'll be using as a third-party software for this course. So as you can see here, I'm looking at the home page of the course in D2L, and you can see that there is a Start Here widget that will give you a link to this video, as well as a link to the introduction boards that you can post an introduction of yourself. On the right hand side, I have my contact information where you can see my email. I also have my office phone and some other resources for you if you run into any technical issues with SimNet, which is our third-party software, with D2L, with anything IT related through Hack, as well as some other resources for you. And then down here you see there's a news area, which right now there's no news to display, but I will be updating that pretty regularly to kind of remind you what is coming up and what's due in the class. And then if you scroll down more, you'll see that there's a calendar reminding you also of some due dates as the course progresses. So to start with the course, the first thing you're going to want to do is go to Content. And you want to go to the Start Here module. And here you're watching my welcome video right now. Underneath that, I have a number of things that you should be going through and reviewing. So I have a welcome to the class that kind of explains how I have the class set up. I also have my syllabus, which I do recommend downloading and printing if you're able to. Navigating the course and some expectations. I just kind of outline kind of how the course is set up, how the homework assignments are set up, etc., exams. You will need Microsoft Office 365 or Office 2019 for this class. So if you will get it as a Hack student, you do get Office 365 for free. So if you need it, their instructions are listed here. I also have a short video on how to take a screenshot, which is usually important as you're working on things on the homework in SimNet. If you can take a screenshot of what you're looking at, that oftentimes helps me, and then you can just email it to me and I'll be happy to answer your questions. And then I have the introduction discussion board, which I do ask that you go out there between now and Wednesday and please post a introduction for yourself to your classmates. And then there's some information on how to set up SimNet. So the way this works is we call it deep integration. So it's actually two separate systems. We have D2L and we have SimNet. By clicking on this link here, you're going to be integrating yourself with the SimNet software. Now, I'm already set up, so I can't show you from the student perspective, but basically you're going to get, it's going to step you through some screens where you're going to have to either create an account, or if you already have taken CIS 105 previously, or say some other course that uses SimNet, you can reuse those credentials. You don't have to create a new one. And then it's going to link to my course. So I already have myself set up and linked. So this is my instructor view. This is not what you're going to see, but you're going to do this one time. Once you've paired your user ID in D2L with SimNet, you won't have to do it again. Going back to setting up SimNet, the other thing is there is a link for system requirements, and it will check your browser to make sure that things are going to work properly. You can see here, I've got some problems with my pop-ups, which I will fix at some point as I'm working on things. And in Flash, I also don't have pop-ups enabled. So you need to have pop-ups working for this. So make sure you run this, make sure that your browser is compatible and fix any issues that you may have. Again, if you have problems, there is SimNet support that will help you to make sure that your system will work with SimNet. Going back to the start here, I'm going to scroll down and you'll see here there is a student guide for SimNet, which is just a PDF document, and some other documents that will help you get you acclimated to the SimNet system. And there is a help link here that if you click on, it'll take you here, and there is things that you can do searches on for any questions that you may have. Again, but there's also telephone access if you need it. If I go back to my Start Here, I'm going to scroll down some more, and you'll see here is the help file. So depending on what you're having issues with, if you're having trouble with SimNet, like getting paired, registered, You do need that access code from the bookstore, which you have already paid for this. So hopefully this is going to work fine for you. But if you run into any problems, please reach out to me by email, kmengel@hack.edu, and I'll be happy to make sure that we get you connected properly on the software. If you're having a problem with D2L, this particular software that we're in right now, the Learning Management System, this is the information for D2L. We also Hack IT will also help you, our internal IT support center. So we have a phone number here as well as email. And then we also have the library and online tutoring, which we use Smart Thinking. So the first couple days, you really want to get yourself acclimated to everything that's here in the Start Here video. You want to make sure you've got Office 365 or Office 2019. And you want to make sure that you have yourself paired and you can get into SimNet. The way you'll know that is if you go to week 1, you'll see that there are links here which are not clickable at the moment because they're starting tomorrow or tonight at 12 o'clock. But once they're open, you should be able to click on these and it should open up those items in SimNet. If you can't do that, that means you haven't been paired correctly in SimNet. So you'll see this first week, we actually have a lot to do because this is an accelerated course. And I have everything that we're listing under our goals. We're going to be going over computer concepts, Windows 10, and Microsoft Word chapters 1 through 5. And this will, if you read through the goals, you'll see everything that we're going to be covering. Then you want to go back to week 1. And I have everything set up as read, watch, and do in every module. And then at the end of the module, I have a checklist. So you'll always see that same setup every single week. Under watch, I'll have videos. For the first week, I have just a video on just basic computer knowledge. There's an introduction to Word. There's a video on how to complete the simulator homework, which is one of the homework assignments you'll be doing, and the grader project. And then down under do, you'll see the actual items you'll be completing. In this case, I have 2 items here first 2 are optional. They're basically to help you study for the computer concepts quiz and the Windows 10 quiz. They're scavenger hunts. And then under here is all the linked items that will go out to SimNet, which you should be able to click on and do right away. You have basically each week you should be doing the readings. And the readings have things in them called Let Me Try. So you'll not just be reading, but you'll be clicking on things and actually practicing as you're reading through the material. These do have point values. They're 1 point each. They're not high points, but they are graded. So please make sure you do work through these first. Then I recommend watching the videos. Then I recommend working on the homeworks. You can see you have a lot to do this first week, and it'll be continuing like this throughout the course. And within here, you'll see you have 2 quizzes. These are short quizzes, 10 points, 20-point quizzes, open book, open notes, but they are timed. You also have these things called simulation exams, which are really not exams or homeworks, but they're in a simulated environment. You're not actually working in Word or Excel or Access. You're actually working in this simulated environment that is replicating it. And then here, you'll notice you'll have these called Challenge Yourself, which we call grader projects. It's basically you download some files, you're going to be working in Word, following some instructions, saving your file, and then uploading it to the system, which it will then grade. You can do these multiple times. You can also do the simulation exam multiple times until you get the grade that you're satisfied with. And so for each chapter, you're going to have a simulation, you're going to have a grader project. And then next week, you'll be doing the Word exam. So under the checklist here, I do have a checklist for every week. As you are doing things, everything here is graded. So if you see it on here, you definitely need to do it in order to make sure your grades remain high. So make sure you check them off, and then you'll know what you have completed, and you'll know when you're done for the week. So I look forward to meeting you all online. I hope you have a good experience with this course and learn a lot. Most people do find that even if they know, say, Word and Excel, they usually find out that they have learned more about Word and Excel. And then most people don't really know Access, and that's okay. We start from the beginning, so no worries there. But I hope you enjoy the class and find it helpful to you in your career, in your studies. and throughout your time at Hack and Beyond. So I'll see you online. Have a good week.